The Zephyrian High Council had conquered 17 star systems without breaking a sweat. Their crystalline exoskeletons could deflect plasma cannon fire. Their neural networks could process battlefield data faster than quantum computers, and their hive mind made them virtually unbeatable in tactical warfare. Fear was a concept they had evolved beyond millennia ago. Commander Vex 9 stood at the helm of the dreadnought Eternal Dominion, watching the blue-green marble of Earth rotate slowly beneath them. Intelligence reports indicated this primitive species had barely mastered interplanetary travel. The conquest would be routine, perhaps completed before the next solar cycle. Deploy atmospheric processors, Vex 9 commanded, his voice resonating through the crystalline communication matrix. Begin standard subjugation protocols. The first wave of Zephyrian shock troops descended through Earth's atmosphere like falling stars. They landed in what the humans called Times Square, their arrival shattering windows and sending the local inhabitants into predictable panic. The soldiers formed perfect geometric formations, their chrome-like bodies gleaming under the alien sun. Citizens screamed and fled, just as populations had done on Kepler 442b and Proxima Centauri c. The Zephyrians had seen this terror response across the galaxy. It was always the same: chaos followed by surrender, followed by assimilation. But then something unprecedented happened. A lone human emerged from the crowd, a woman in her 30s wearing simple civilian clothes. While others ran, she walked directly toward the center formation. The Zephyrian soldiers raised their energy weapons, charging them with lethal intent. The woman stopped 10 meters away and did something that had never occurred in 17 previous conquests. She looked directly at Commander Thane 7, the formation leader. Not a glance, not a fearful peek. A steady, unwavering stare that seemed to pierce straight through his crystalline armor and into whatever passed for his soul. Her brown eyes held no terror, no pleading, no submission. Instead, they carried something the Zephyrians had never encountered: an absolute refusal to be intimidated. Thane 7's neural processors suddenly sparked with unfamiliar feedback. His weapon arm trembled, a malfunction impossible given his biomechanical design. Around him, his squad began experiencing similar anomalies. Their perfect formation wavered. The woman's gaze intensified. She wasn't just looking at them. She was seeing them. Through their armor, through their technological superiority, through their collective consciousness. Her eyes seemed to say, "I know exactly what you are, and I am not impressed." Aboard the Eternal Dominion, Vex 9 received the biometric data from his ground forces. Stress indicators that should have been 0 were spiking. Heart rates that should have been perfectly synchronized were fluctuating wildly. Most disturbing of all, individual thought patterns were emerging from the hive mind, something that hadn't happened since their species' primitive era. "Status report," Vex 9 demanded. "Commander." Thane 7's voice carried an emotion that had no name in their language. "The human, she's looking at us." "Impossible. Visual contact is irrelevant to." "No, sir. She's looking at us." On the ground, more humans had stopped running. They turned to watch the confrontation, and one by one, they began to mirror the woman's behavior. Men, women, children, all making direct eye contact with the invaders. Their faces showed no supernatural power, no advanced technology, just an inherent human stubbornness that refused to acknowledge the Zephyrians' superiority. For the first time in their civilization's history, the Zephyrians felt something their neural networks couldn't categorize. It started as a flutter in their shared consciousness, then grew into a cascade of individual awareness. They began to see themselves as the humans saw them, not as inevitable conquerors, but as intruders in someone else's home. Thane 7 lowered his weapon. Around him, his squad followed suit. The perfectly coordinated invasion force began to dissolve as each soldier grappled with the alien concept of self-doubt. The woman smiled, not with triumph, but with understanding. She had recognized something the Zephyrians had forgotten in their quest for galactic dominance: that sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't technology or numbers, but the simple courage to look your fears in the eye and refuse to blink first. Within an hour, the Zephyrian fleet was retreating to deep space, their commanders frantically trying to restore the hive mind's stability. They would mark Earth's location as indefinitely postponed in their conquest databases. Some battles, they realized, couldn't be won with superior firepower. Some battles required looking into the mirror of another species' soul and accepting what you found there.